If you are still recruiting, you're falling behind. The leaders who are actually growing right now, they're not chasing agents. They're building movements. This is something that I have built into my system to not chase agents, but attract agents through relationships, and it has led to exponential growth for me in my situation. And it also can for yours. So I'm going to explain my entire system, the pillars that I go for, and everything next. What's up, guys? I'm Jeremy Kane with Carbon Collective, the Real Estate Agent Playbook. I can't wait to share this one with you. If you are interested in seeing behind the curtain at Carbon Collective, we're offering a 2-week free trial. Comment Carbon Collective launch below and I will get you that link. But for now, let's get into it. Here's the truth. As a team leader, as a broker owner, as somebody who's trying to duplicate what they have done in themselves, this is the problem, is we continue to do this. We recruit, we follow up, we try and make, someone be exactly what we were, whether that's, a buyer's agent or listing agent or someone on your production team or someone you're bringing into your brokerage. It just doesn't work. So I get it. I built my sales business first. When I tried to scale it, it was, the next thing, start a team, do this, do that. That's when I realized that agent attraction isn't a side hustle. It's an entire new business. Inside of Carbon Collective, we have built a ton of resources and have agents who have been there, done that, who will coach you to bring agents into your organization where you will not have as much liability, you will not have as much, responsibility. You will absolutely be able to do exactly what you love, and your agents will also have coaches that will help them sell their first house to reach that icon level agent. So if you're interested in that, comment Carbon Collective launch below and I can show you behind the curtain for 2 weeks. But for now, let's get into how I've stabilized and created a revenue share business or an agent attraction business on the other side of my production business. So the first thing is we need clarity and positioning. When we're setting out to find the perfect team member or the perfect agent for your brokerage or the perfect agent in your organization, it's not a one size fits all. There's always different things that work with different groups and teams and so on. So we need to really define that avatar. And once we have that avatar, then the value promise becomes much easier. What value are you going to bring to them? Why should they join you over the boutique brokerage or the, number one Zillow team in your office or whatever that is? Why should they join you? So we need to build a unique value proposition, again, separate from your production and your clients and that value proposition that's completely different. And you're building something that you're able to take away. If you have a one-liner, right? My one-liner, which is also very similar for production, is I help agents and all people build wealth through real estate, right? This is just a different segment of that, and it's a very different model. We're not talking about, stacking rentals or house hacking or anything like that. We're talking about stacking agents and helping agents and coming with impact and value to serve. And the beauty of it is when you stack agents upon agents, then the value stack only gets bigger if you have each person just bring their little bit of zone of expertise. And that's the real difference here. In an organization like we have at our group at Carbon Collective, we don't have, somebody who is, the grand boss of all of it. We have different agents who are coming together. Some are in the same line, some are in different lines, and we're all providing our zone of expertise so that our agents get the very best coaching wherever they're at, meeting them where they're at. If they're a new agent looking to cap, we got a section for that. If they're, a capping agent that's maybe plateaued or a capping agent that's ready to take the next step, we have, the icon track where there's icon agents in there coaching specific things that those agents should be going through at that particular time. And then also we have the attraction coaching, which this one is mainly focused around, and agent, people who have attracted agents, former broker owners, former team leads, people have been in it and been in your shoes, whether, you're considering making a move or not. It may be a model that you want to come check out at least for the 2 weeks. Again, Carbon Collective launch below. The next thing we need to do is get our connection and our systems down. We have to control, our data in a specific CRM. I currently use another side of my Lofty and have, different pipelines and tags and things like that. But we have to be able to contact our agents, not only the agents that are prospects and leads who may join our team, our brokerage or organization, but also the agents that, are inside of it. Because here's the deal. If we're providing this value and everyone's kind of doing this, it's very confusing. There's a lot going on. And as it gets deeper, there's more and more confusion, at first, because there's a lot coming at them all at once. We want to get them all their logins. We want to get them access to all this stuff. We want to make sure they bookmark all of the right websites and all of that. And so there's a lot coming at them. So we have to be able to communicate with them. And so a CRM or some sort of organization software that will help you keep in touch with them. It's nice if it's a CRM attached to a phone number so you can send them texts, emails, and so on. This is very important. You also, for the agents that haven't come over, you want to make sure that you're moving the conversation along as you're attracting them to your brokerage or team, and you want to make sure that you have those notes and you know what's going on, and maybe there's specific checkpoints. Maybe they're getting ready to close a big deal and this could be a good time for them to consider making a switch. Those are all times to make sure that you're focused on exactly where that might be, and so that's of utmost importance. And then you want to, kind of build a pipeline just like you would with your clients and so on. So if you want, a higher level opportunity to do this, a CRM with, appropriate segmentation of agents and clients and so on is needed. Some people like to do separate. Currently, I'm working completely within the Lofty platform. Seems to be working okay. Ultimately, I'll probably switch them maybe at a go high level or something like that. But the key here is communication and organized communication. You don't want, to get that message that says, hey, this person got their license and they just joined a different brokerage because there wasn't the follow-up. So make sure your systems are in place and all of that. But also, as you're creating the value, create systems in order to deliver them. If you can align with the right same programs and things like that, that is also very helpful for the agents so they don't have 15 different websites and all of this value all over, because typically what I've seen is when they're overwhelmed, they kind of step back from that. And the next thing is, in content and conversation, we have to be focused, right? When I'm talking to agents who are interested in attraction, the first thing that I kind of talk to them about is knowing the model. This is of utmost importance. And if they know the model, or they know the team structure, or they know the brokerage model that they are trying to attract to, it makes it a lot easier. And then ultimately, the biggest secret is, even if you have the greatest model in the world, which there's only one greatest model in the world, I'll tell you guys all that, you have to understand that most people who are real estate agents don't care about most of the model. Maybe there's something out there that they'll absolutely love down the road and you can kind of touch on it. But if you're just throwing every single thing at them and they can't get a word in edgewise, this is going to be a problem. So we want to make sure we, as the recruiter, broker, team lead, whatever we are, it knows the model, right? And then we want to find the other agents' pain points, or so that we can have solutions to those pain points. This is the number one mistake I see newer agents do that are trying to build an organization or a team, is they just push everything out there. Yes, if you're an amazing team and you provide all the leads and it is what it is, don't change what you're doing. If you're growing, you're fine. But if you're having struggles to get going or grow or have conversations with these agents, try and flip the script and start by listening versus, just spewing all this information all over them. Then within your content, start to create more value-driven approach, giving your stuff away. I always say, give it away. We always say, Everything that we have is right here on our YouTube channels, right here on our podcasts. It's just a lot more organized within our courses and our systems. And, when we're coaching, it becomes a lot less generalized and much more individualized. And that's one positive of Carbon Collective that we have created, is you will have specific individual coaches who have been there, done that, read the book, and are ready to train you in doing the same. Will you do it exactly the same? Absolutely not. Right? If I'm a basketball coach, my point guard is not going to play the same way that my last point guard did, or I did when I was younger, right? They're going to have their own game. Am I going to coach? Am I going to call the plays? Am I going to, do the substitutions? Absolutely. But the final execution of the play comes down to that specific individual, their strengths, their weaknesses, and a plan can be made. That's what coaching is, and that's what we strive to do at Carbon Collective. And then once we get in, the biggest pillar is going to be retention. We have to understand the goal isn't to have more agents. The goal is to lead better, lead those agents, give them the information that they need. I can't possibly give them every single specific thing they need. So plugging them into a group or a team or a brokerage that has their best interest in mind, that works and collaborates, is absolutely the key to success. And you as a leader can, don't have to be fearful of them leaving or anything like that. Because if we lead and the group, picks up the slack or picks up some of the weaknesses, then collaboration takes it to a whole nother level. We go down the area of accountability and all of the things, and retention is the key to reaching those numbers, when ultimately sometimes we're always focused on that attraction. So once we have all of the the avatar, the systems and value that's set up, and we create that value, we deliver that value in a way that is appropriate, and we're in the right model, and we're doing all the things, or know the model, then we can start having conversations and creating content around that to increase our attraction levels. And then we just have to lead. Once we've done it, once we've run the play over and over and over again, and it's working and conversations are happening, then we have to lead to retain those agents. And that's exactly how it became an entire business. Right? It's very similar to having clients, but it's not the same business. It has to be separate. There's a different target audience, there's a different outcome, and there's a lot of different things that go on in it. Because in the end, when you're attracting agents in the same market, or to your brokerage, which is the same market, or your team, which is the same hyperlocal market, you technically are in competition with each other for the clients, right? That's not how we operate within Carbon Collective. It's a community. There are no secrets. There are no secret sauces. And that's exactly why it allows everyone to take their business to the next level, because we start with the avatar. Okay. If you have the exact same avatar in the exact same town in the exact same city, well, yes, then you're competition. But if your avatar is a little different, or you're in the neighboring town, or you're this or you're that, then all of a sudden the competition kind of disperses, and we're setting a more wider net versus trying to find a needle in a haystack. So this is my passion. This is why I left my dad's brokerage, so I could help other agents do exactly what I did. And now we are only furthering that journey, still in the Wolfpack, still doing the things, but Carbon Collective is an absolutely massive opportunity for you. No matter what brokerage you're at, if you're interested in having a conversation about EXP, let's have a conversation. If you are at EXP, there's massive co-sponsorship opportunities. Again, Carbon Collective launch, 2-week membership. For now, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.